Kia ora and welcome back to the Flexline Media coverage of the 2021 Wāhi Tapu from the Lake Ohau Lodge, Waitaha Ara Disc Golf Course. I'm Morgan Harteveld, this is Adam Rhymes.
Hi Morgan.
We're here to present the back 7 holes.
Let's do it.
Coverage today brought to you by Altitude Brewing. This of course an event on the NZDG Tour, the last stop of 2021. Pretty exciting stuff. We got our 4 people from the feature card.
Yeah, Johnny Ferrari, currently at 3 under par. Chris Dickson, 4 under par and a clean sheet. Roddy McKay's even, along with David Keene.
Yeah, Dave and Roddy battling it out on even, and Chris Dickson leading the way, and Johnny right in tow. So let's see what these guys can produce in the back 7 holes.
That's it. About to see some awesome views from this part of the course.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just a couple of holes away from popping back out and looking at Mount Cook Aoraki. Hole 15.
Right, 70 metres, straight down the tunnel, low ceiling, trouble on the left and the right. Pinches down next to the basket with the OB long.
Yeah, this hole slightly tougher than it looks. It's just straight down the middle. We've obviously got a new feature there with a tree hanging down from the left-hand side of the fairway, which caretaker Mark asked us if we wanted gone, and we thought, nope, let's leave that there and we'll make the hole slightly more technical. Chris Dickson punching one up the middle there. He's popped out the left-hand while the right-hand side of the trees. Still safe, and he will have a wee look from back there, at least an up and down if anything.
Roddy Emac Truth, straight down the middle.
Oh, you can hear the boys in there going, Roddy, they love it.
Good kick.
Roddy leaning on that Emac Truth the last couple holes off the tee there, and it's working for him.
Good kick as well, a little shorter, but...
Yeah, they're still right in the middle of the fairway there. By the sound of it, the boys starting to feel it a wee bit, you know?
Yeah.
Couple of good holes on board, and, you know, let's get these guys back in rhythm.
Yeah, Johnny with a good punch out there. He's got himself a bit further up the fairway.
Yep.
Taking the back door.
He has. So you can't quite see it in that view there or in this one because of the weather, but right behind Gwen there, maybe 2.5 metres behind the basket, is the boundary fence to the course, which is, of course, out of bounds. Oh, Dave! My goodness! Oh, get a load of this shot. Oh, it just didn't quite hang in the chains there.
Didn't quite get enough. He got the last 1 or 2, but...
I love that he just gave that a dig from so far out, no matter what was back there.
Yeah.
Brave.
That was a brave putt.
Oh, Johnny splashing it, getting lucky.
Yeah, not far from that fence.
Not at all.
Can Roddy convert? Oh no!
These boys, they sound like they're feeling it, but they're having a wee bit of issues coming through these holes here. Chris Dickson's going to just take a par, and he's going to take a stroke on Johnny there to get at least one shot, I'm guessing, on him on this hole, just to push it out to a 2-stroke deficit.
See Roddy there taking his meter.
Looks like you guys were on the world's slowest race there. One step at a time.
Exciting times here at the course, at the Waitaha Ara Disc Golf Course. This here being the basket that sits right at the entranceway to the disc golf course and to the lodge. So what excites me about this most is people are going to start asking questions as soon as they get there. What is that thing? Is that a bird catcher?
Really
they're going to go up to the lodge, they're going to find out, and this could be the birthplace of a lot of people's disc golf careers.
Okay, moving on. Hole 16, 81 metres. We said a couple of holes ago from the last coverage. Plays back up the road.
Yep, very similar to that last hole. A couple of holes back up there. Just one for the righties and one for the lefties. This one's slightly longer, playing uphill. As you said, 81 metres, but probably playing at about 90 to 95 metres with the height of the road.
See Chris there getting caught up on the right-hand side.
Yep, so the usual play on this hole.
Kind of playing for the road skip, aren't you?
Well, with the righties are playing for the road skip, but look like there Roddy's just trying to turn one over there. He's put a little bit too much nose up and he's fallen off to the right-hand side, which will be surely an easy-ish up and down.
Dave going with the forehand. He's a little inside.
Yeah, he's a little inside. He's landed very short.
He's got some work to do from there.
Johnny with that low shot again.
Oh, playing the road skip.
Yep. And he's landed right next to, I think, was it Chris over there?
Yeah, Chris from the first shot. Okay, let's see what Dave can do. The big turnover.
he's caught those branches and most likely going to be sitting with those boys as well.
Yeah, so he's going to be probably trying to say bogey from there.
Johnny up and down.
Yeah, tidy.
Yeah. Well, yep, pretty simple, pretty tidy. It's a hard run. He's got the fence in the back there, so you know, don't want to get too much on it, and you also don't want to get unlucky, hit the cage and maybe roll back to the road, which, you know, does happen on a hole where the out of bounds is so close to the basket.
Yeah, there's a lot of places to get stuck on this hole. Coming in at 3.56.
3.56.
Whole half a stroke over par.
Yeah, wow.
For 81 metres, I mean, it talks to the technicalities on this hole and the rest of the course.
Yep. As we've mentioned before, you've got to have good touch on this course to do good English, to do very well at all. Chris tapping that down, keeping that scorecard clean again so far. Just a couple of threes. Nice one. These guys going to clean this up. So as I just mentioned, Adam, this course here is the Lake Ohau Lodge plays host to a lot of Kentucky buses, tour buses, cyclists, and a lot of people that wouldn't usually be exposed to a disc golf course. And I'm pretty excited for when tourists come back to New Zealand and they might get to have their first adventure around a disc golf course down here in Lake Ohau.
We've
nice wee slice of paradise.
That's it. Okay, moving on. Hole 17, 44 metres. Another short little technical hole. On the wrong day, you can see the bushes blowing there. The wind really comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely. You might have seen the whole front half of the course playing with absolutely no wind, and then this will be the first place that you see it. These guys, what I've realised in the last couple of holes here is they're starting to have a bit of grip issues again. I think the weather really picked up in the back hour of the round here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Roddy's punched one up over the top there.
Over enough.
Pretty close to that OB line, which we haven't quite mentioned yet. Probably about 7 metres behind the basket is the boundary fence yet again.
That's trusty MV again.
So Johnny's given this a good run. Oh, looked like it was turning over. I thought he was going to have a really good run at the basket there, but he's great. He's right inside circle there for his birdie putt.
Yeah, we got 6 or 7 from there, I'd say.
Johnny will definitely be looking to erase that 4 from a couple of holes ago just to bring himself back to even on this back 7.
Dave piped it straight down the middle.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by Dave Keene.
Throwing the crow on this hole.
Throwing the crow, that's an old school disc.
That's a throwback.
Yeah, you don't hear that too often, do you?
Picture on there for...
Speaking of old discs, Dave Keene has the oldest PDGA number on this tournament. I don't quite have it at hand, but I think it might be 8541. Sorry if I'm wrong, Dave. That's just a good guess. Hopefully a good guess. He's been around the block for quite some time, moving back down to the South Island from up north I think either early this year or late last year. And it's great to have him down playing on the Struggle Street in Queenstown and just generally smashing chains with us down here.
Good pass save there from Chris.
Yep.
Got in trouble early on. And
yeah, pretty unfortunate throw off of the tee there. It looked like it slipped out of his hand, and he's come back with the 3.
He's keeping the dream alive. Another par.
Speaking of a par, not Dave, birdie.
Good 2.
Beautiful 2 for him.
Yeah. Like I said, really short this hole, but execution is everything.
So we've got 3 birdies on that hole and a par. That's not going to happen all weekend. Alright, moving on along, hole 18.
Okay, getting back into it, hole 18, 70 metres. Got a tight gap off the tee pad and opening up.
Would you say the aim is just to get it out through the gap there and up and give yourself a wee look?
Yeah, hit the gap and try and get as far up the hill as you can.
Sure thing, let's see what these guys have got. And while we watch these guys, I think it's good to bring up, the eagle-eyed amongst you have probably noticed this, but on the last hole, Roddy actually shot 3 shots and carded a 2. This wasn't brought up until we seen the coverage and the event report had been handed in. So that stands, but you know, the weather conditions are tough out there. These guys made a mistake and obviously none of them caught it, and we just live and learn. Here we go with Chris Dickson.
Yeah, Chris. Get in the hole.
Nice and wide.
Yes, Chris, put it right up by the basket. What an absolutely fantastic shot there by Dickson. He gets the replay.
Yeah.
Generation Disc Golf replay with the follow flight.
Yeah, nice and high. Perfect angle the whole way.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic shot there by Chris. Perfect even.
Speaking of people's champ.
Speaking of perfect, the people's champ.
Oh, that's what I did yesterday.
He's found himself some trouble there.
He has. I found myself in there twice at the weekend, and there is not a lot of windows to get out. As you can see, he's had to throw something nice and high to get up and over. He's back in the bushes. Never got out. Wow. Super tough. He's given that a good run, though.
Like you said, stop the bleeding.
That's it.
Up next to the basket.
Yep. So this hole here is one of the most picturesque holes in New Zealand when the weather is not inclement like it is right now. This shot right here without cloud, you'd be looking right down Lake Ohau, right down up the valley, up to Mount Cook, Aoraki. And, well, there we go. Johnny with a beautiful birdie.
Great putt.
Yeah, with Chris Dickson sitting so close to the basket. Well, look at that, under the basket. Johnny really wanted to make that putt, not let Chris slip out another stroke ahead of him. So great putt by him. These guys cleaning up. And we'll be moving along on to hole 19. Let's see what Roddy's tapping in for his bogey. I think he got the right score on that one.
Yeah, I was counting those ones.
The cookie time hole, hole 19.
63 meters. Punches out under the low ceiling. Plays slight drift to the right.
Yep, just a few guardian trees on the left there to try and navigate, but nothing too difficult really. I think the low hanging branches right at the start there, especially when they were wet, they would drop down probably another half metre lower than usual.
Like you said, once you're up there, you're hoping for a clear spot to try and convert the putt.
But old laser beam Johnny Ferrari, just no trouble getting that up there. Hopefully he's got a look through the bushes that are up there guarding the basket.
He might be contending with the bushes there.
Chris throwing a very similar shot to the last hole there, just putting it straight up high on a hyzer, and it's looked like he might have just gone past the basket deep, which can be pretty tough because the bushes back there are about 2 metres tall.
I think he caught the tree and dropped.
Oh, did he? Oh, I've missed that one. Dave making the correction there and coming in a little lower and right by the basket. Hopefully he's not too impeded by those bushes. This is a very protected basket, to be fair. It's not just those 3 trees. You really need to have an accurate landing just to actually have a good look at the basket.
Yeah, Roddy with the same thing. I think those bushes play quite a lot there.
Yeah, they definitely do. You have to get a wee shot over the top of anything.
I was there during the weekend and had some putting woes from over there.
Yep. Get in! Oh, the boys called it to get in. They wanted it.
It's a really good bid. Look pretty much blind there.
There's the look. There is a wee V gap there where you can see the basket popping through, and I have seen people make that putt. Get in. Yes.
Oh, Roddy.
Roddy McKay making good on the birdie on this hole. Look at that. Picture perfect. And he loves it.
Look how happy he is there.
The double fist bump.
Yes.
Runs right through that rose hip like it's absolutely nothing. Fearless. Dave with the same look.
Yeah, he's a little closer.
He will definitely want to make this putt. Yes. Yeah. And he converts beautifully. And he's running it in like Roddy. Great putting, lads. And Chris right there also.
Yeah, a bit more of a look.
He's got that rose hip right in front of him that's sort of impeding his shot.
Checking his stance there.
Yep. Looking at his card mates, making sure his stance is alright.
Oh, he's not going to be happy with that one.
Same as earlier with Dave pulling out to wait for Johnny to move away and making his putt. Maybe shooting straight away was the go when he had the focus. And one of those learning moments in golf we tend to not take on board every single time. But anyway, moving along, hole 20.
Alright, 65 metres. We've got a row of guardian trees right in front of the basket. See the basket just tucked in behind there. There's a bit of a line on the right, but the real open line is on the left-hand side. We'll see these lefties most likely utilise that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just those few silver birch right in the front there. I've actually seen quite a lot of people punch through those this year, which not so much last year. Absolutely no idea how, because they are thick.
Dave looking slightly early there. He's got the right side gap. Should have a bit of a look from down there.
Yeah, the branches on the right-hand side tree there sort of stick out quite far, as you can see, and he will, if he's putting from where he is, he'll have to be going up and over, I'd assume.
Roddy also landing just on the wrong side of the trees.
Chris getting his pretty straight, and there's a lot of bracken out to the left there. This is another hole where like keeping a really close eye on your disc is absolutely super important, as they will swallow your disc up and not spit them back out. I actually think, Adam, you've still got a disc up there from one of the rounds, don't you?
Yeah, I landed a bit too far to the right and just sort of at the far end of the shot there.
Yep. Yeah, they can just disappear. Fortunately, Johnny's found his. He's actually in the clearing, looking right at the basket. We jump putt.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn, Johnny Ferrari.
Nailing the jumper. Here we go, look at that. Perfect the whole way.
That is absolutely beautiful to see. That's probably my favourite putt from the whole round so far.
Yep.
Fantastic work from Mr. Ferrari there.
Get every inch of that one.
Right, Chris will definitely be wanting to get this one. Johnny caught up to him on 5 under par apiece here. Let's see if he can capitalise and stay one ahead. Oh, he highs a putt, catches the cage and just falls away into the loopings there. He'll be tapping him for his 3. Roddy more or less just pitching up. Oh, Dave did get further around than I thought.
Yeah, he looked on the right side. Yeah,
And that is a 99% all the time, every time putt for Dave Keene, isn't it?
Yep. He's see him get most of those.
Roddy cleaning that up.
Yeah, nice par there for Roddy.
Yep. So a couple of birds and a couple of pars. Oh, sorry, Chris Dickson stalled a putt. I'm reading the scorecard wrong here. So hopefully Chris can put this away. There we go. Didn't make a liar out of me. Couple of pars and a couple of birds. Oh, Chris losing his footing there. Very slippery around the course here. It's good to have good footing and good rain equipment for a round like today. On to the last hole of the round, hole 21.
Okay, hole 21, 100 metres, dead on. You can see here the Mando tree just on the left there with a little banner. Comes in at the hardest hole of the course for today's round.
Yeah, it's a pretty beast of a hole for a par 3, especially with the shape that you've got to have. The tee moving back about maybe 10 to 15 metres on last year's and 2019's tee position, and a little bit out to the left, which takes the righty hyzer play out of play, at least in these conditions. So these guys having to go down the tunnel route.
Coming in at 4.14, it's well over a shot over par.
Yeah, and that's not surprising at all. This is a very tough hole. Being 100 metres, it was a tweener hole for a par 3 or a par 4, so we made the decision, it's a big end of season tournament. We wanted to make this as tough as possible, and we stuck with the par 3. Roddy's pushed that outside the Mando by the look of it.
There, Dave, right?
Yeah. That Mando in position, obviously, to protect that basket. You've just seen on the side of the screen there, and the players that are going to that basket.
See what Chris can do. Oh, he's got a lot of hyzer.
Yep.
Yeah, he wanted some flip there.
Hopefully he'll punch through just enough out the bottom there.
It's easy to get stuck in there.
Yeah, it definitely is. And for those of you that are coming to visit the course, the permanent course, after you've seen this footage, just down there where that puddle is under those trees, that's right where the basket will be for the permanent course, hole 18. Oh, Roddy. He will not be happy with that. He's only gone, maybe 20 metres past where he just was at the drop zone.
Yeah, already playing for free from the drop zone. He's going to want to get this hole over.
Chris with an absolutely awkward stance trying to punch out of the trees, and looks like he's ended up in behind the silver birch there.
Yeah, big row of silver birch on the right hand side. Any wayward shots can really get lost.
My goodness, these guys are having an absolute tough time just getting out and into the open, let alone getting to the basket. Hopefully Johnny can just get down there and sitting right up next to the basket. Yeah, great bid there by Johnny.
Yeah, you imagine how these guys are feeling. I remember where I was on my last hole during this round. Completely soaked.
Absolutely, completely soaked, ready for a feed.
Yeah, the waterproofs were no longer waterproof.
You were questioning your clothing at that point, weren't you, when they say,
yeah,
waterproof or
yeah.
water resistant.
It wasn't a fun time by this point.
Oh, good bid by Chris there.
Sweet par save there.
Yeah, a few of these guys finishing strong. There'll be at least a couple of pars in there.
Yeah. So this round been a pretty mixed bag, really, hasn't it? Chris Dickson was the only one that's pretty much kept a clean sheet almost throughout the whole round so far. But yeah, a lot of stories to tell. Bogeys where there probably shouldn't have been bogeys. Some lucky par saves, and even the nice birdie save by Johnny on the long par 4 coming down the stretch there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, 2 big plays from Johnny today. We had that one, and obviously
Last hole.
Yeah,
hole 20, just making that massive putt to come back to 5 under apiece with Chris Dickson. So yeah,
big stepper from the bushes. It was.
Yep. And Johnny finishing with his par there, so that's strong. And then Chris finishing with the bogey, unfortunately, after getting caught up in those trees. So for the feature card, Johnny takes it away with a 5 under par. Chris 1 in behind. We get a quick look at Roddy's absolutely unreal putt through the gap there.
Look how tight that gap was.
Hey, the people's champ, here he is, running us into our scoreboard and showing Mikey Yu right at top at 11 under par at him. That is outrageous.
6 strokes clear.
6 strokes clear with a bunch of people tied in second place. We've got Johnny Ferrari in there, and then we've got a bunch of people on -4, and Jaden down there at the bottom with neg 3. Man, I'm excited to see what the next round's coverage can bring for us.
Said, yeah, just looking at that, look how far Mikey is ahead.
Yeah, that's it for us. Thanks for following along on round 1's coverage. We'll be back for round 3, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining us.